Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Shri La Prabhupada ki Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Kali Yuga Pavana Harinama Sankirtan ki Grantarat Srimad Bhagavatam ki Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuvunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamilniti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Takta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitaram Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Nashtaprayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha. Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Welcome all of you for the Bhagavatam class. We are reciting from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 3, text number 8. Atmana evanusavanam anjasa vyatirekena go bhuyamana shesha purushartha swarupasya kintu nathashisha ashasananam etad abhisamradhana matram bhavitumarhati. Atmanaha, self-sufficiently, eva, suddenly, anusavanam, at every moment, anjasa, directly, abhyatirekena, without stopping, bhuyamana, increasing, ashesha, unlimitedly, purusha artha, the goals of life, swarupasya, your actual identity, kintu, but, natha, O Lord, ashishaha, benedictions for material enjoyment, ashasananam, of us who are always desiring, etat, this, abhisamradhana, for getting your mercy, matram, only, bhavitumarhati, can be. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, as Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. All of life's goals and opulences are directly, self-sufficiently, unceasingly, and unlimitedly increasing in you. Actually, very similar to what Sripad Ramanujacharya says in Gadyatrayam. There is a literature called Gadyatrayam. There he says, Anabadikasha, he says that the nature of the Supreme Lord is such that his opulences are self-sufficiently, unceasingly, unlimitedly increasing. They never diminish. In our bodies, our opulences gradually decrease over time. Our beauty decreases, our strength decreases as we get older. Our physical energy level reduces, isn't it? As you get 60, 70, 80, people have to have a stick also to walk, isn't it? Their body bends, isn't it? The beauty is lost. Whereas in Lord, it's just the opposite. His beauty increases, goes on increasing. So Lord's form is like the morning flower, which goes from a bud to a fully blossomed flower. Whereas the material bodies are like a blossom flower drying up in the evening. It's just like that. So Lord's opulences are increasing. Strength, beauty, fame, it's unlimited. unlimitedly increasing, unceasingly increasing, he says. So, Lord is ever fresh. Same with devotee also. If a devotee is connected to the Lord, because of their connection, you see Sripad Ramanujacharya, 1,000 years ago, Ramacharya taught the world so many nice things. And now they have made a very big, statue of equality, isn't it? Our Chinnajira Swami, such a beautiful, huge deity. Whole world is coming to see that, isn't it? So even after 1,000 years, his glory is still increasing. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada, 1977, he left the world. Subsequently, you can see Prabhupada's Samadhi they have made in Mayapur Dham. It was so huge. We were all amazed. Oh, for Acharya, such a huge thing is made. So wonderful. We haven't seen such a big Samadhi anywhere. But then the TOVP came, temple. That is even huge, even more bigger. So the Lord and the devotee, both are glorified. Both are glorified, both are worshipped with great pomp. And they deserve to be worshipped. So devotee's opulence is also increasing. Pure devotee, you can see that Prabhupada was busy making Krishna famous in the West. Now Krishna is busy making Prabhupada famous, isn't it? Because Prabhupada wrote the Bhagavad Gita as it is to glorify Krishna. Now the Bhagavad Gita is going everywhere and people are glorifying Prabhupada for giving such amazing commentary. Isn't it? So in this way, if an iron rod is in touch with fire, it is fiery. Similarly, pure devotees are in touch with the Lord. Therefore, their fame and opulence is also always increasing. So it doesn't diminish. But if we disconnect from the Lord, then the opulences diminish. Just like a branch of a tree. If it is connected to a tree, it will always be green. There will be flowers, fruits, everything. But if you disconnect the branch from a tree and bring it here and leave it at home, for a week it may be green. After that, eventually, it dries up. So that's what Prabhupada said. You disconnect from Krishna, you perish. You connect with Krishna, you flourish. So then he says, all of life's goals and opulences are directly, self-sufficiently, unceasingly, and unlimitedly increasing in you, my dear Lord. At every moment. This is the Brahmanas who are conducting a yajna, sacrifice, for Meru Devi and Nabhi. So the purpose of the yajna was, Lord Vishnu, if he comes, we can request him to give a child to the king. Because in those days, the kings were very concerned to have a son because for various purposes. One is the son should become the next successor to the king so that he can rule the world as righteously as the previous king ruled. He should be a good soul, a dharmic king. So every father desired that, let me have a successor who will take charge of my kingdom and then I can take Vanaprastha and go back to Godhead. That was one of the ambitions, aspirations. Another reason is Punnama Narakastrayate iti putraha. It is said the son is supposed to deliver the father and ancestors from going to hell in case they committed some karmic reactions, bad reactions. He's supposed to deliver them by performing the Shraddha. So therefore, in the Vedic times, there was a sacred purpose to having a son. So they were also aspiring, not having a son, they were anxious. But these parents were not ordinary parents. Who? Meru Devi and Navi. They were pure devotees. And they desired Supreme Lord himself to become their son, not ordinary son. They wanted Krishna only to become their son. So, but they felt themselves unqualified. So they called these Brahmins and conducted a yajna. In that yajna, the Brahmanas were doing yajna for a while, not for a very long time. Within a very short time, Lord Vishnu appeared in the middle of the sacrificial fire with a beautiful form of 400 form, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma with Mukut and Kundal and wearing a Pitambar and then Kaustuba jewel in his chest and with 4 bluish arms carrying all the weapons. And all the Brahmanas were stunned and everybody offered obeisances to the Lord. And now they wanted to tell the Lord that king wants a son, but they were a little shy. Why they were shy? They thought that, imagine you go to a Karudapati and ask for 10 paisa. How foolish it would be. Huh? Or you ask him, please, can I give you one mushti of rice? Huh? And he will say, what are you talking? I have thousands of acres of land. Huh? Tell me how many sacks you want. Huh? How many tons of rice you want? He will ask you. To go to the Lord and ask for one child for the king, they were thinking that it is a petty material desire. It's not good to ask. At the same time, since Lord has appeared in front of us, let us begin with something very nice, some sweet note, and then we will come to the real thing, what the king wants later. So they began with offering a prayer. Adakadanchit kalanachutpadana jrumbana duravasthanadishu vivayanam nasmaranayam dvaramarana dashayam sakala kashmala nirasanani tava gunakritanama dheyani vachana gocharani bhavantu. Like that they offered one prayer. So they were saying, Skalana, Padana, Drimbana means when we are walking on the road, sometimes we may stumble on a stone and fall. Some people die on the spot also sometimes if the head hits a stone, isn't it? Or sometimes while yarning, like that, suddenly death may come. When you are yarning, you may not be able to chant the holy name, correct, no? Can you yarn and chant simultaneously? Very difficult, Or sometimes one may have a marana jwaram, 107 Fahrenheit. One is in deathbed. At that time, one is in comatose state. One is not able to chant. Or one is in lavatory and washroom. One has gone. One thinks it's an impure place. That time, suddenly some people pass away due to some serious problem, disease or something. Some people slip in the bathroom and fall and die also. Old people sometimes. So they are saying that in all these situations where sometimes one may be bitten by a serpent, Skalana, Padana, Jrimbana, Duravasthana, Adishu Vivashana. Helplessly, when one has to face death sometimes, they say that even in such situations, let the holy name not be forgotten. Let us remember you, let us remember the holy name. Tava guna krita nama dheyani vachana goshanani bhavantu. They are saying that your name, form, qualities, pastimes, let them not be forgotten by us, even in very great sankat also. Just like Gajendra also, Gajendra apasankatam, it is said. He obtained sankatam in his life in the form of a crocodile catching his feet. Imagine if a dog is catching your feet and you have a bead bag, can you chant the holy name? How many people think it's a little difficult? If a dog is catching your feet to chant the holy name, correct, no? Yeah. Because all your attention will go to the bead bag or to the dog. The dog, correct, no? Jai Shri Radha Mohan ki. It will go to the dog naturally. First you will think, let me relieve the dog, let me relieve my leg from the dog, and then I can chant the holy name. That's what we would think. But Gajendra didn't think like that. He thought, I can't relieve this crocodile on my own. I have tried already. So best thing for me to do is what? Chant the holy name. And then serve the Lord. He chanted the holy name with the mouth and served the Lord with his trunk by plucking a lotus flower. Sontasya rasyurubale nagrihita arto drishtva garutmati harim kavupata chakram utshipya sambudakaram giramaha krichral narayana khila guru bhagavan namaste narayana khila guru bhagavan namaste. So he was in a sarasi, in a lake. Sarasi. Urubalena means very firmly. The crocodile was catching his feet. It was not a light catch, it was a very strong catch. So he just couldn't escape. Sarasi Urubalena grihita arto drishtva. At that time, when Gajendra was offering various prayers, suddenly he looked at the sky. Lord Vishnu was coming on the bird carrier Garuda. Seated on its back. Drishtva garutmadhiharyam avupata chakram. He was wielding a disc chakra in his hand. At that time he thought, oh, Lord Vishnu has arrived at my home. And what should you do if a guest comes to your home? Should you keep quiet? You should offer something, correct? You should offer some water, offer some sitting place, offer something to eat, speak some sweet words. So here it's not ordinary person, the most special guest. Yeah. So, and he is coming. So he thought, now how can I serve? I'm not in a position to serve because my body is in a troublesome condition. If I was at home, I would have served better. But even in this troublesome situation, the best way I can serve is, pick up a flower and he did archana for the Lord. So with the mouth he chanted, which is kirtana, and with the trunk he offered flower, that is archana. The kirtana, archana, both he did. And vandana, he offered prayers already. So he's done everything that our devotee should be ideally doing. So Lord Vishnu was pleased. He gave him a Vaikuntha body instantly when he came. So that is why these Brahmanas also said that, my dear Lord, uh, in this world, you know, many people try to make their material life successful. Like I was giving a class somewhere, one man was telling, Swamiji, you are talking so many things about spirituality, worshipping God, chanting God's name and going back to God. He said, these are all very complicated subjects for me. My understanding of life is you just have to fare well in this life. That's all. Huh? Like, behave well, be good, don't do any bad to anybody, don't harm anybody. You are a good person. That's all God wants you to do. You don't have to worry beyond that. Just fare well in life. So I had heard a very nice statement. Even though you may want to fare well in this life, you will have to say farewell to life in this world. One day. You cannot remain here forever. But there is only one activity which if you do, for that activity you will never have to say farewell. What is that activity? Huh? Bhakti. Huh? Because if you do bhakti here, you will go to Vaikuntha and continue your bhakti there. Huh? If you make friendship with Krishna here, even after going to Vaikuntha, you will continue to have friendship with Krishna there also. Whereas for all other activities in life, you have to say tata, bye bye. Huh? To relatives, tata. To your company job, tata. To all your house, your very dear laptop, your very dear car, your very dear job, your especially most dear bank balance. For everything you have to say farewell. Farewell to all of them and go with empty hand. But the only thing you will never have to say farewell is Lord, because Lord is here also, Lord is there also. Everywhere. So these Brahmanas are very wise. Therefore they pray to Lord that may your holy name be remembered by us always. And then after that they told, you see this king Nabhi and his wife Meru Devi, they are desiring a child, and they have conducted this yajna asking us to pray to you and beg for a child for them. And this is a very, very bala buddhi. Asking for a petty gift from the Lord is a very, very, what do you call it, low class kind of mentality. Not a great thing. Because you are capable of avoiding heaven, or you are capable of avoiding even liberation. You are capable of avoiding the spiritual world. You can even award one the Swarupa to eternally serve in spiritual world in 5 rasas. Is it not true? Huh? But in this world, most living beings ask for petty desires. Oh God, please pass me in the exam. Huh? Oh God, please give me a job. Oh God, please give me a house. Oh Lord, please give me a spouse. Huh? Like that, everybody is praying. Huh? People are praying for different things to the Lord. But these living entities in this world, their mati cannot go beyond. They don't know what type of great personality you are. Huh? And then the Brahmanas did not criticize Meru Devi and Nabi. Instead, they said, you see, we are very, not very exalted Brahmins. We are not great devotees. We are not Vaishnavas. Therefore, this king and queen, they have engaged us in this kind of karma kanda sacrifice for you to get the children. Because, because we are very simple Brahmins. We are not your devotees. Like that, they told a lie. Why? Because they were pure devotees. Like that Chakravarti Thakur writes in his commentary. He says these Brahmins were all pure devotees, but they claim to be ordinary Brahmins. Actually, this is the nature of a devotee, just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Amara jivan sada papera nahi ko punyera lesha parere vadvega diyachi ekoto kiyachi jivera klesha. He claims to be possessed of all bad qualities. Great devotee, not think like that always. These Brahmins also humble Vaishnavas. They said, we are very simple Karmakandi Brahmins, though they have engaged us in asking you for a child, so we offered this prayer. And then we never expected that so quickly you will come and give us darshan like this. Suddenly you have appeared in no time. Now we are placing this petition of the king in front of you. And they said, if it pleases you, the king wants a son like you. And the Lord smiled and said, how can there be anyone like me? There is no one like me, so I myself will become the son of the king. The Lord said that. Then Lord became Rishabhadev after that. So that is the context here. So as far as we are concerned, O Lord, we are always after material enjoyment. You do not need all these sacrificial arrangements, but they are meant for us so that we may be benedicted by your Lordship. All these sacrifices are performed for our fruitive results, and they are not actually needed by you. You see, many people perform, some particular puja for the Lord, particular arrangements, they call the Brahmins and do things like that, but ultimately they have some motive in mind. This year we want a bountiful harvest, or we want a putra bhagyam, or we want dhana bhagyam. They have some goal in mind with which they offer a particular type of puja. Sometimes you might have seen your mother doing some upavas also. Why she is doing upavas? So that you can get into IIT. Sometimes they will do some upavas. They will have some desire that my son achieve this or daughter achieve that. There was one mother who said, until my daughter gets married, every Friday I will do upavas or something like that. Everybody in this world, they will do some tapa, vrata, dana and everything, but there is always some kind of strings attached to that. That's what they are saying that when we offer this kind of worship to you, that is nothing great for you because you are the source of everything. For example, say I take a glass of water from the Ganges and run away. Will Ganges have any loss? Or if I add one glass of water into the Ganges, does it make any difference to Ganges? Ganges have gallons and gallons of water, so many, tons of gallons of water. So we can't add anything to the Lord's life to make the Lord grateful to us that, oh, thank you for giving this. But because ultimately He only created everything. Correct now. Just like there was, imagine in one of the marriages, there was one very famous tube light company owner. His daughter was getting married. Somebody went to his marriage taking one tube light as charity. How you will laugh. He will say, I have millions of tube lights. They're coming and giving me a tube light. It's like that only, isn't it? What can you give the Lord? Ultimately, you're taking everything from Him. Then what is so great about your giving? So that's what they are saying, that we cannot add anything to your possessions or commodities to make you feel more satisfaction that thank you, I was not having this one thing you gave me. Sometimes we may say that. Correct, no? The other day I was telling in one of the lectures that, one of my assistants made a dink laddu which was very hard like a stone. So I had to take a hammer and break it. I powdered it and I took it. So I said, and on some context I said that, then as soon as I finished lecture in the afternoon time, one bottle of dink laddu came. From some congregation brought and gave. Prabhu, we were very sorry to hear that your tooth got broken because of biting a hard dink laddu. They brought and gave. See, we have need like that sometimes. Oh, I don't have a watch. You gave me a watch. Thank you for the watch. Oh, my chappal was broken. You brought me a chappal. Thank you for the chappal. Yeah, I needed this item you gave me. Thank you, we say. Because we are in need. Is Lord in need? For anything, is He in need? Like somebody may build a temple. It's not that without your building temple, Lord has no place to stay. He is in the heart of everyone. He is outside the universe. He is inside the universe. He is creating millions of universes. In Vaikuntha planets, if you go, thousands of Lakshmis are serving Him. Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam. And the Vaikuntha is full of beautiful golden buildings. with, you can go to the 10th canto, read the Dwaraka description. In the Dwaraka description, the palaces are huge and all with marble and coral and emerald and ruby and pearls. The floor was like mirror. The pillars were also like made up of coral, Vaiduri and things like that. And all around the palaces there were beautiful gardens filled with flowers. The peacocks saw that from the windows, from the marble windows of the palace, the agarbatti smoke was coming out. And that appeared like as if the clouds have come very low. And the peacock started making sounds. They are making sounds, seeing the clouds. So, like that it is described in the 10th canto, Bhagavatam. And there were also golden inlays in between the marble walls, it is said. So, everywhere it was studded with diamonds and navaratnas. If you read that 10th canto Dwaraka description. Nowadays there are AI generated movies coming on Dwaraka, how it looks. You can faint after seeing that. Actually, this is one beautiful thing because we have been reading in the scriptures. Now many of the things are now like this Kishkinda. When Sugriva takes a meeting for all the Vanaras, no? After that, he is telling them where all to go, and where all to search for Sita. So all those places are very vividly described. Now, some of the scientific researchers have proven some of those places now recently. Some regions which were inaccessible to humans before, now they have become accessible. And scientists are amazed that the descriptions given in Ramayana are matching with that. So, of course, they haven't accessed it fully. Some access they have. Now, those descriptions are in the AI-generated movie they have made. If you see that, you will be stunned. And what creatures exist there? What type of people live there? What type of regions are there? It's explained very beautifully. So, in the same manner, the opulence of Dwaraka, opulence of Vaikuntha is explained. Now, when they make movies based on this description of the Shastra, people can get some glimpse of what this worlds in which Lord lives, what opulence in which he lives. Even in this world, we can get a glimpse of some opulence, correct or not? You go to some Karodapati's house, you can see what kind of lavish life they lead. You can see that, even in this world. What is because Supreme Lord? These people are tiny, not even mosquitoes in front of the Lord. People in this world. Lord is... So with such opulence in which Lord is living, what is our small petty offering going to do for the Lord? Like that they are saying. All these sacrifices are performed for our fruitive results. And they are not actually needed by you. They are saying. Now Prabhupada's purport, short purport. Being self-sufficient, Lord is called, two names for the Lord are given. Atmaram, Aptakam, it is said. Atmaram means is always satisfied. And aptakam means even if he has a desire, the desire is immediately fulfilled. Like even in Bible it is said, Lord said, let there be light. And immediately sun came. Let there be earth, earth came. Whereas in the Bhagavatam, it is said when Lord has Ichcha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti. So Ichcha Shakti means desire potency to serve his desires. And Jnana Shakti means knowledge potency. Kriya Shakti means action potency. So all these Shaktis are female forms. So they all are around the Lord anytime to serve him. As soon as he desires, immediately this desire is fulfilled. Then there is Vishnu Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Brahma Shakti. Then many other Shakti, Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti, Tatastha Shakti, Samvit Shakti, Hladini Shakti, Sandhini Shakti. Then you can add potential Shakti, kinetic Shakti, chemical Shakti also. All these Shaktis can be added. All these Shaktis are saluting him and at his beck and call. Actually, it is not very difficult to understand. In Pune, there is one Parsi man. He has 20 big bungalows. And he has got gardens. Each compound maybe 2 to 3 acres. That too in the city. Very, very big bungalows with gardens around. One of those bungalows, we are there in Pune Camp Temple. So, this Parsi man once decided that his bungalows are all like 100 years old, which means they have to be reconstructed now. They had mud walls in those days, correct? No? So now he decided to reconstruct them. So what do you think he would do? Do you think he will himself will have to take the hammer and chisel and do the work. No, he gets it all done. How? By just throwing money. Correct, no? We say, no? Throw peanuts, get monkeys, we say, no? Throw money, people will come to work for you. And he is a crorepati. Then all the houses were demolished. He was living in one house. Rest of the houses were all demolished and being reconstructed. In 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years period, very nicely furnished. New houses are being made now. And he is sitting in his own house and watching everything happening. He just supervises, goes around and sees how things are happening. So just as this man is building 20 houses, which are all, each one is worth 5 crore, 8 crore like that. Very costly houses he's building in many places. But all this is made possible by Lakshmi. Similarly, Krishna has thousands of Lakshmis at his disposal. Therefore, he can get everything done. Correct, no? We have only the little Lakshmi, we can do little work. Huh? You have little paying ability. And that fellow has crorepati. Similarly, there is a, Lakpati, Arapati, Karapati. But Krishna is Lakshmipati. So all Lakshmis are saluting and working for him. That's what they are saying. So Lord has no dearth of anything. But they are saying, Brahmins, why people bring gifts to you? Because they have some expectation from you in return. Generally, we also do this in this world. Like somebody goes to somebody and you want some favor from somebody. Before asking for the favor, you'll go and give something. Hey, go and give this. Like some people come and give some sweets. After giving sweet, they will ask you, can you do this for me? As if you are a baby or a child, you eat the chocolate and then give something back. Some people in this world, people do that. Like if they want some work from MLA, MP, they will go and give him some gifts. And then they will ask him, can you do this for us? Correct, no? That is a tendency. Similarly, these people are saying, Brahmins, you see, my Lord, we are very, very low-minded. We are just doing some worship for you with some expectation in return. So Prabhupada is saying, being self-sufficient, the Supreme Lord does not need huge sacrifices. Fruitive activity for a more opulent life is for those who desire such material opulence for their own interest. Yajñātat karmanonyatra loko yam karma bandhanah. If we do not act to satisfy the Supreme Lord, we engage in Maya's activities. We may construct a gorgeous temple and spend thousands of dollars, but such a temple is not required by the Lord. The Lord has many millions of temples for his residence, and he does not need our attempt. He does not require any opulent activity at all. Such engagement is meant for our benefit. If we engage our money in constructing a gorgeous temple, we are freed from the reactions of our endeavors. This is for our benefit, he says. So, Prahlad Maharaj says in the 7th canto one beautiful verse. Naivatmana prabharayam nijalava purno manam janada vidusha karuno vrinite yadyajjano bhagavate vidadhita manam tachatmane pratimukhasya yathamukha shrihi. Very important verse. He is saying, my dear Lord Krishna, if somebody takes a bindi and puts on the forehead, immediately in the mirror also the bindi automatically comes. If they put a kundal in the ears, there also kundal will come. Not that you put one bindi here, one more bindi there also. One bindi if you put it, good enough. Similarly, if somebody serves you, they stand to gain. The jiva who serves you becomes fortunate. For example, Sudama only went and gave little palm full of chipped rice to Lord Krishna. So did Krishna gain more or Sudama gained more? Krishna gained more? Sudama gained. He only gave little chipped rice to Krishna and Sudama got a huge bungalow and hundreds of servants and servant maids when he went back, correct or not? Isn't it? Similarly, one Falwali, one fruit vendor lady just gave some fruits to Krishna, correct now? Whatever fruit she got in the basket, that's a very, very beautiful pastime. You see, generally, these people who sell some items, I remember in South India, people have these old clothes in their house. When somebody comes, they will take these old clothes and instead give some stainless steel vessels. They'll give us. Anybody experience here? Here also they do that? Correct. They do that. But they will be always bargaining. You have seen that? Like, after you give the clothes, you ask for a bigger vessel, they'll give a smaller one. They will say, if you want a bigger one, give some more clothes. They will say like that. Whereas here the Falwali was much different. Krishna, when he heard the sound of the fruit vendor lady, He ran to the kitchen and picked up some palm full of rice and came running. Because he was a small kid. When he came running, most of the rice fell off. Just some 2-3 particles of rice remained in the tender hands of Krishna. So when he showed it to the fruit vendor lady, that lady was a pure devotee. She was so charmed by the beauty of this child in Vatsalya Bhava, just like Mother Yashoda. So she took all her fruits and gave away. She didn't calculate. You are giving 2 rice, I will give you 1 piece of fruit. She didn't do that. She gave away all the fruits she had. Because she gave wholeheartedly, Krishna gave his heart to her. He said, you are giving me so wholeheartedly. So he filled up her basket with his, with gold, silver, diamond and everything like that. Probably she would have given some 20 rupees of fruits and Krishna gave her 20 lakhs of worth. So much jewelry and everything. That's why, who gains more? Lord gains or devotee gains more? One who gives to Lord, they gain more. That's what they are saying. So what the Lord is looking for in a devotee's heart is, see, in this world, everything belongs to Lord except one thing. That doesn't belong to Him. That's our free will. Because He has given you the free will, but He wants you to offer your free will to Him voluntarily, not forcibly. That is the reason why the Lord doesn't control us fully. Because we are His part and parcel. He is independent infinitely, and we are independent minutely. Because we are minute in size, our independence is also minute. Because He is infinitely powerful and great, so He has infinite independence also. So that minute independence, the Lord is seeing whether this child is voluntarily, whether this jiva is coming forward to connect with me in love voluntarily. For that, the Lord comes in this world and performs pastimes, gives teachings, but He has left a choice to us. So, in the 11th canto, there is one very nice commentary of Chakravarti Thakur. He says, once a husband and wife, they were swinging in a swing, jula, and the child was sitting on the floor. And the husband was within the embrace of the wife. The wife was catching the husband. Both of them were swinging like this. But then the child who was on the ground, he was eating some rice and dal mixed together, he was eating. So he saw the mother and father and he smiled. And he picked up one palm full of rice and said, Papa, like that he showed. And the father, he left the grip of his wife and ran to the child to accept that palm full of, child's palm full of rice. Not that father was very hungry or something. He has already finished his, lunch already. But why he ran? Because the child was offering with affection. Child was smiling, so he went and... So there Chakravarti Thakur writes, the Lord is attracted to a jiva who is eager to render seva, more than Lord's attraction to even Lakshmi also, he says. See, this is Atishayokti, we call it. Atishayokti means, not that literally we should take it. The idea is, the Lord is happy with Lakshmi, but still, when a jiva is eager to render some little service, the Lord comes running. Oh, here is a jiva who is turning to me. Now somebody may ask, oh, poor Lord, he wants service from jivas. Seems that he is very much hankering. He is not hankering because he doesn't need that service. He is happy that this jiva has come to line. Ye line pe aa gaya abhi, bacha. So, because he doesn't want to see the jiva suffer. So, he is not concerned about his suffering, he is concerned about our suffering. You see, this point you will only understand if you understand this example. The parents' mamata for the child is far more than child's mamata for the parents. How many of you agree with this? Correct? Parents' affection for the children is very, very deep. Whereas a child's feeling for the parents is not that deep. You will see that even after you grow up, your parents are very worried about you. But when you grow up, you wonder why they're worrying about me. I can take care of myself. You just don't worry about them. But they worry about you. Similarly, the Lord's affection for us is million times more. And our affection for the Lord is very insignificant. What to speak of affection? We have turned away. We are going headlong in opposite direction. So therefore, when a jiva is somehow turning to Lord, affectionately the jiva wants to give something, God is very charmed. He is even telling goddess of fortune, just see this jiva, how, he is coming towards me. So like that Chakravarti Thakur says. So that is the Lord's interest. So therefore he is saying here, the Lord has many millions of temples for his residence, and he does not need our attempt. He does not require opulent activity at all. Such engagement is meant for our benefit. If we engage our money in constructing a gorgeous temple, we are freed from the reactions of our endeavor. Yajñārtāt karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. If you engage in Lord service, you become free from karma bandhana. And if you don't engage, you are entangled. So it's for our good we are doing, he is saying. This is for our benefit. In addition, if we attempt to do something nice for the Supreme Lord, he is pleased with us and gives us his benediction. In conclusion, the gorgeous arrangements are not for the Lord's sake, but for our own. If we somehow or other receive blessings and benedictions from the Lord, our consciousness can be purified and we can become eligible to return home back to Godhead. So if we somehow or other receive the blessings and benedictions from the Lord, our consciousness can be purified. You see, the purpose of advanced devotees offering things to Lord is with eagerness to get their consciousness purified so that it becomes more and more filled with love for the Lord. Actually, as we grow from the Karma Kanda stage to Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, then we come to Bhakti Yoga. In Bhakti Yoga also there are 81 types of Bhakti due to the three gunas. As we get purer and purer, our relationship with the Lord becomes sweeter and sweeter and tighter and tighter. And the devotees in 5 rasas in the spiritual world, their offerings are filled with love, pure love. But there is not even a tinge of any material motivation in that type of love. And actually Lord is looking for such connection, such devotees. There is a reason for that. You see, in your life also, you are looking for genuine friendships. You are not looking for somebody who comes to you with some motive. Imagine somebody tells you, hey, your dress looks very attractive. You look very cute in this dress. Hey, today you look very smart. And then they say, please, can you please give me some 20,000 rupees? I have to pay my fee, college, and I'll give you back in 6 months. So if somebody praises you to ask you for something, as soon as they ask you a favor, then your gratitude for their appreciation goes away. You think, oh, this person was superficially praising me, but the person had some motivation. Another time they come and praise you, you will think, what are you coming for now? What is your program? You better come straight to the point. Itna bada chada kar bolne ki zarurat nahi. Don't go roundabout. Tell me, straight you tell me, what do you want? Correct, no? You see, when I finished one Bhagavatam class in Pune temple, I was walking back to the ashram. And one boy came running with me. He's a initiated devotee. And he was praising me like anything about the class. Prabhu, your class was so wonderful. You always give wonderful example, wonderful stories. I said, okay. And then he said, Prabhu, all my spiritual life started with your DYS course. You have been all through my life by your blessings. I said, that's all right, Prabhu. Now I'm going, now I have another blessing to do. And then when I was about to reach the ashram door, at that time he said, Prabhuji, one small thing I have to ask you. He asked. I asked, what is that? Prabhuji, can you please forward my name for Brahman Diksha? He asked. I said, see, Prabhu, nowadays there are many managers in the temple. I don't directly do these things. There is a Brahman initiation committee which conducts the interview and they will check your Bhakti Shastri certificate. And also you should agree to do seva in the deity room. Only then they will give you. So all these things, procedures, if you finish, and then Revatipati Prabhu is there and he will pass your name. After all of them do their homework, finally it comes to me for one last signature. And if these guys have done their homework well, I will just close my eyes and sign. It won't be a problem. First you have to clear all the previous steps. You have to go to them, I said. So by the time I was telling him these things, in the ashram we have to put our, the thumb in the machine to open the door. So I was putting my thumb and while speaking it, and then I turned around and saw the boy was not there only. He had gone already. Why he was gone, he thought it is useless to talk to this fellow. Because my job is over. Because he has told whom to meet. Now I will go and meet those people. Whatever I wanted from this guy is over now. This is the world we are living in. You can see that people have motivations in connecting with people. People make friendships in this world with some intention. What will I get out of this friend? That's the intention with which they make, and that's not at all pleasing. There was another fellow. This was also a Brahman Diksha request. I told him, see, Prabhu, you are saying you want Brahman Diksha. Have you served in the deity room? He said, first you give me Brahman Diksha, then I will worship. He said, the deities. I said, worship comes later. First you have to please the pujaris. Go to the department, wash the pots. We have 18 backups in a day in Pune. We have to wash these pots. We have to make it chamak chaka chak. It will be shining, brass vessels and all. Because I told him, when I was not having Brahman Diksha in Chowpatty temple, 1994 when I joined, my daily service was in the afternoon, take a bath and go to the deity room and cut the fruits. And then arrange this kind of service we will do. And then assist Radha Gopinath and other pujaris. And then it will go inside. So the only fire you cannot put in the furnace. And you cannot cook, lead in cooking, that requires Brahman Diksha, correct, no? That requires. There are many things you can do, backup and all you can do. I said first you have to become Dasanudas, correct, no? You do those services and eventually they will give you, And then he said, see Prabhuji, you are president. If you say, they will give me. I don't want to go to all the Chota Mota guys. You directly pass my name, after that I will do something. Like that he said. I said, I don't cross over these people. I respect the managers. You have to please them. And then he said, okay, this time if you don't want to send me, it's all right. Next year you should send me. I said, next year I will send, provided you come and render service. For 1 year, I should get a good report about you. And then, if they are pleased with you, I will send. The next year he came to meet me again. Then I said, Prabhu, you should not come, I told them. They should tell me your name. Who? The pujaris, managers. Because if they are pleased with your service, they will come and tell me, Prabhuji, we recommend his name. He said, no, Prabhuji. They will never recommend me. He said. Then I asked him, okay, last 1 year did you render service? He said, he was keeping mum. Then I asked the pujaris and asked, is he coming for some service? They said he never put his foot even once into the deity room. So what do you understand from this? That means, the living entities are very, very fruitive in their mindset. They are focused on their results, not on their duties. Correct. Now, therefore, Krishna says, Karmanyeva adhikaraste mahaphaleshu. You do your service in deity room, the phala of the Brahman Diksha will come. Automatically it will come. But they are focused on the phala only. They are not focusing on their duty. Just see. Why am I telling you these examples? I can tell you even more simpler examples. But even if you are an initiated devotee, doesn't mean that you can become very exalted devotee. You may be first initiated, and still our mindset of fruitive mentality, of keeping some material motivations. Actually, bhakti means anya abhilashita shunyam, jnana karmadi anavritam. Actually, unless we become free from material motives, our bhakti will not be pleasing to Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, and our Guru Varga and Krishna. We cannot please them. We can do some kind of drama like bhakti. So, that drama will not be very pleasing to them. They will say, okay, he's doing something. Something is better than nothing. But if we want to really do bhakti, we have to fine-tune our offering to Krishna. And one of the things that we can fine-tune is give up this fruitive mentality. Like therefore Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, don't try to see the Lord. Try to serve Him in such a way that He will want to see you. Like one school boy, in 6th standard he asked his teacher, Madam, I want to meet the principal. She said, what are you talking? Principal is a busy man. You cannot meet him. Every year he would ask the teacher, Madam, can I go? Can you take me to his room? But then he couldn't meet the principal despite trying through multiple teachers. But in 10th standard, this boy got state first. So the principal was amazed. Who is my student in my school who brought the state first? Call him to my room. Then immediately he was called to the principal's room. Principal patted him and gave him a gift and talked to him for 1 hour. And the boy was overwhelmed. Sir, all these years I wanted to meet you, nobody allowed me. He said. But then the principal said, but I wanted to see you, therefore they allowed you now. See, if Prime Minister wants to visit your home, can somebody stop him? But if you want to meet Prime Minister, is it easy? That is difficult. So similarly, for us to meet Krishna is difficult. But if Krishna wants to meet us, there is no difficulty. Therefore, it is better that we do our homework well. Like you all have the experience of catching a butterfly when you were a small kid, isn't it? The more you run, the more it flies away. You have seen that? That's why it's called fly, fly, butterfly. Goes away. But if you want a butterfly, if you want to keep watching butterflies, then you make a beautiful garden and they will come and sit. Similarly, you prepare your devotion service so attractively, Krishna will come running. Then Krishna will say that, oh, this devotee is so sincere. I want to watch the beauty of the devotion service of this devotee. Then the Lord will come. So, whether our offering is small or big, whatever it is, the Lord sees the intent, the intention, the motivation with which we are rendering service. The intention is the most vital thing in our offering. How pure it is. You can fall short in your mantra, tantra and all those things. Like there is one famous verse. Murkho vadati vishnaya, dhiro vadati vishnave, ubayostu samam punyam, bhavagrahi janardana. There is a verse which says, when you are putting your tilak, you chant, no? Keshavaya namaha, Narayana namaha, Madhavaya namaha, Govindaya namaha. One fellow was saying Vishnaya namaha, he was saying. Because Krishnaya namaha, so he thought Vishnaya namaha. Is it Vishnaya? What you should say in Sanskrit? Vishnave, you should say. Instead of Vishnave, he was saying Vishnaya. Still Lord Vishnu did not mind. There is a mispronunciation in Sanskrit. But Lord saw the attitude of the devotee, whether he is, with what devotion he is worshipping me. So the devotion is far more important than the ucharan, mantra ucharan. Sometimes one may chant with great spashtata in Sanskrit, but Lord will see the devotion. So here the Brahmanas are saying that we all are offering you many, many offerings. Actually, we all should feel the same like these Brahmins who are great Vaishnava fellows. These Brahmins are like very advanced devotees, not ordinary people. Although their devotion is so pure and pristine that Lord has appeared, they still say that our devotion is not so pure. Yeah. And also they felt so, they didn't just declare so. Why? Because in front of Meru Devi and Nabi, who are like Nanda Baba and Yashoda, they were in the same category. Therefore, the Supreme Lord agreed to become their son. So compared to them, the Brahmins thought that our devotion is very insignificant. There is a Brihat Bhagavatamrita. There, if you read, you will see that everybody feels my bhakti is insignificant. One Brahman was doing yajna and Narada goes to glorify him. He says, what is my yajna? I am just doing one small yajna. Indra has done 100 yajnas, Rajasuya yajnas. And then he became Shatakratu, then he goes to Indra. Like that he goes to different people. Then Hanuman, then Prahalad, and finally goes to gopis, correct? In this way you will see that all the devotees, they say, I am small, but another devotee is better than me. Then you go to that devotee says, I am not a great devotee, another devotee is better than me. Everybody is saying that I am very small. So great devotees feel that they are very small, and small devotees think they are very big. That's the way this world is. Because Kanishadhikari thinks Atmano Bhakti Darpataha is very proud of his little devotional service. So whatever little devotional service we are doing, we should first become prideless, free from false pride. Then Krishna will give us the vision to see that the offering of my devotion service quality is not that great. I have many, many false expectations. I have false pride. I have material motivations. Why am I doing what I am doing? I'm not doing with a pure intention of only pleasing the Lord. All of you ask yourself a question, touch your heart and ask. Whenever we do devotion service, there are two sides to it. There is one material component, there is one spiritual component. The spiritual component is to please Guru and Krishna. The material component is to impress the world around. So both are there. Only the size we have to see, which one is a bigger size. If we desire to please Guru and Krishna becomes bigger and bigger, this size will become smaller and smaller. But if our desire to impress the world becomes bigger and bigger, then our good pure intention to serve the Lord and Guru becomes smaller and smaller. Then lot of sparks of fire will come. There will be quarrel with other devotees. There will be competition, unhealthy comparison. I am big, you are small. I can do this, I want this. There was one devotee, any good service comes in the temple, something that will bring you fame, he will grab all that like that. I want to do this also, I want to do this also. And there were a dozen other devotees who say, Prabhu, we have no service, we also want something. And he says, see, I have done this, so I want this also, I can do it. Well, you guys cannot do it. So later on, one leader told him, see, don't try to grab everything and have monopoly. Everything in my custody only. Don't do that. Let everybody have some service. So this kind of material fruity mentality that has that grabbing mentality and dominating mentality, bossing mentality, superiority complex. And all these bad qualities come because of impure intentions in performance of devotion service. So when devotion service is tainted with material motivations, then externally we may wear the attire of a devotee, but internally what is going on is I-centeredness, ahankar, false ego, thinks that I am the center of everything, everybody should be at my beck and call, the whole world should revolve around me, and thoughts like this. Then they also make many demands and expectations from people around. And that's why their devotion service becomes very ugly. But with pure intentions, like you see, Sudama offered some little chipped rice. Krishna considered it very great. He told Sudama, Anu api upahritam bhaktair premna bhurye vame bhavet bhuryapi abhakto upahritam name toshaya kalpate. Oh Sudama, in this world, even if my devotee offers something apparently very insignificant, that offering, I consider it as very great because it is filled with their pure love for me. On the other hand, even if a non-devotee offers me something very great as Chapan Bhog offered by Duryodhana, Lord says, Nameto Shaya Kalpate, that doesn't satisfy me because it is tainted with materialistic mentality of some self-motivation, selfish agenda or some material motivations. So Lord said, Nameto Shaya Kalpati, that doesn't satisfy me. Your offering is small, but that greatly satisfies me, he said. So we want Lord's satisfaction or our own ego satisfaction. That we have to decide. If I am going for my ahankar tushti, not Krishna tushti, then I will have to be born again and again in this world. So now one devotee was asking me, Prabhu, if this is a case, I feel better not do devotion service only. Because whenever I do devotion service, a lot of ahankar comes. I did it, and people should recognize me, people should adore me, appreciate me. Better that I don't do. So then I told him to ask the question to His Holiness Ranath Maharaj. So after one Bhagavatam class, he asked, Maharaj said, yes, you should give up, not the service, but your ahankar. That you have to give up. He said, no, Maharaj, both of them come together. What to do? No, you have to cut it. And how to cut that ahankar and put it outside the window and keep only the bhakti. For that, you have to see devotees who are performing devotion service without any fruitive mentality. And one has to associate with them very closely. Like we are going for this Harinam Sankirtan in the morning. Such devotees like Vishakirti Prabhu, such devotees who are so completely free from false prestige, any kind of false ego. He is simply singing for the pleasure of the Lord. Morning, afternoon, evening, night. 4 times a day he must be singing, probably 6-8 hours a day. Actually, I read somewhere that if you do one activity perfectly out of this 9, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam. One activity perfectly, you can go back to Godhead. So he has captured Kirtanam. Just do Kirtan morning, afternoon, evening. So he is already living in spiritual world. So we have to cling on to such devotees. So we can also develop some amount of freedom from fruity mentality. And we can develop some taste for the holy name. We can develop some simplicity. We can develop some purity in our offering to Krishna. So this whole verse is talking about two very important things. One is that Lord is very exalted and He lives in abundant affluence. He has nothing, he has nothing lacking because He is the owner of everything. He is the owner of millions and millions of material in spiritual universes. We are seeing so much opulence in material world, which is actually a shadow of the spiritual world. You can imagine, if shadow is beautiful, how much more the object must be beautiful. Ask yourself, you are beautiful or your shadow is beautiful? Somebody saying neither is beautiful. But at least out of the two, shadow or person. Yeah, shadow you don't find anything very attractive. But the real, if I do like this on a wall, it looks like a deer. Isn't it? So the real deer is more beautiful than the shadow deer. Correct, no? Similarly, this is material world is like shadow. Even here we have so much opulence. How much more opulence will be there in spiritual world? So that was the first point we discussed. Lord has unlimited opulences. He is not having any dearth of anything. And the second point is, nevertheless, when a devotee offers the Lord something, even very apparently small, but with a pure intent, without any material motivation, without false pride, without boastfulness, one should not think about oneself, one should think about the Lord. One man one man went to Vrindavan to one temple and said, हमारे दादाजी ने आपके मंदिर को दान दिया है fan के लिए. He said, my grandfather gave charity and at that time he had told you to put our grandfather's name. Did you all put the name? They said, yeah, we put the name. He said, the board mein nahi hai. I saw the board, my grandfather's name was not there. They said, wait a minute. Then they switched off the fan and they showed it was written in the wings only. In the wing, 3 wings were donated by 3 people, so the 3 names were written. For the 3 wings of the fan. See, one of the name is your grandfather's name. He said, okay. And then when he was about to go, he told them, never switch on the fan, he told them. They asked why? Because if you switch on, people cannot see the name. Then they said, but what is the purpose of taking donation for the fan? So this fellow was so attached to showing his grandfather's name, he didn't give a single penny himself. He didn't give a single penny. He is saying, my grandfather gave, that too he wants people to see the name, so fan should not rotate. They were saying, better we give your donation back and allow the fan to move. Isn't it? How much fruitive people can be? How much eye-centered they can be, isn't it? So that was the second point we discussed. To give up that eye-centeredness, make our heart Krishna-centered. Let Krishna stand tall in our heart and let we assume the role of a small dust in Krishna's lotus feet. Actually, that is the real role. The Jiva, he says in Lord Chaitanya, what is that famous prayer? Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam budhau kripaya tava pada pankajastita dhuli sadrisham vichintaya. My dear Lord Krishna, some or other I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me at your lotus feet as one of the millions of particles of devotees. And I also want to be one of them and serve you. This is the right identity and identification of one's true position. Then in that position, our service can acquire some quality, some proper attitude, which will be pleasing to Guru and Krishna, which is the ultimate goal of life. If Guru and Krishna are pleased, everything is accomplished in life. And Guru and Krishna are not pleased, it's the only ahankar toshanam. That was the second point we discussed elaborately. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. I can take one question, 5 minutes. Anybody had a question? Give the mic to him. Oh.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for wonderful class, Prabhu. I have one question regarding in the middle of the class you're giving 2 examples. There one devotee is approaching for you Brahman initiation. So you guided that you can come through the channel. If they will tell, then we will allow you. So regarding that, I have one question, Bhu. For example, we have some mainstream services which giving us by Guru and by our superior authorities, and there are some sideline services which, based on the situation and circumstances, giving to us or crisis giving to us. So because in the mainstream,
Are they ad hoc services? Are they services which you like to do? Which one? Are they ad hoc services coming from top down, or they are services which you like to do?
well, both type of cases
No, no,
will be
no. You
there.
can take one. You can take, because if you give too many variables, then difficult to answer.
So like some services are there which is giving to us.
They're given to you. They are ad hoc services.
Some like ad hoc services also, and sometime because I am free, so they give them services that you can do these services, something
Okay,
like that.
okay, okay.
They are like a mainstream services. Well, some services giving by our senior authorities, we have to be continue the services. Because time is limited, you told that either you can do this or either you can do that services. So in those type of situation, in these services, which is not mainstream to us, so how should we ever approach? We have to be do the bare minimum, or we have to be full-hearted, because every service have required improvement. And if we go inside the services, then we can do so much improvement and give so much
Lot
time.
of opportunity for improving. Yeah, that's
So
true.
what should we ever approach
See,
and
first
attitude?
thing is the quantity. Like we have to chant 16 rounds. Then we can work on quality also. If I'm initiated, I can't say, because my quality is very poor, I will chant only one round. I can't say that. I have to chant 16 rounds. But we should gradually improve. Same with your services also. They are giving you service. Whatever main service they have given you, that you should do first. And then if they expect you to improve the quality of what you are offering, try to improve the quality. And other ad hoc services come, if you are able to fit in, just like we say, you have a jar in which first you should put the big rocks. That's like a main service. Then you put the smaller rocks. Then you put the murum, that small, small stones. And then you shake the jar like this, because they go and occupy the recesses. And then finally, lastly, you put the sand. And then you put the water. So like this, the smaller things should come in the beginning or later? Later. The main thing should come in the beginning. Even in your day also, like morning, the most important prime time is between 4:30 and 9:30. We give it for totally devotional activity. Then between 9:30 to 2:30, this another 6 hours, we should take up services which are very vital, especially thinking, planning, organizing, that kind of thing we should do now, because your energy level is at the peak after eating prasad in the morning. Then after 2:30, light activities can be done. And in the evening, you can stop all activities after 6:37, then some Sankirtan, with spending, socializing with devotees and things like that. So in this way, the day is divided. Similarly, prominent activity should be done first. Other services which come can be kept as second priority, third priority. That's all. And in case somebody comes to me and tells me, Prabhu, I want to give you one more service, but I am already doing 5 services, what I would do? I'll tell them, Prabhuji, here are the 5 services. Anything, any one of them we can cancel and put that one here. Then I can do it. They will say, oh, no, 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 better you do those 5. I'll give this one to someone else, they will say. In case I have no time, extra time. If I have extra time, I can say, Prabhu, I will try. I will give a try. It's a little difficult, but I will try. But I don't promise. When can I promise? When I am fully confident. Otherwise, we learn the displeasure. They will say that you could have told me at that time that you won't do it. You said you will do and you didn't do. In India, many people find it difficult to say sweet no to many people. So don't say yes and not do it. Under promise, over deliver. You say, no? When you say, I will try, and then if you do it, they'll be very happy. And if you say, I will do it, and then you say, last minute, Prabhu, don't you see, I already was busy with so many services. That's not good. Therefore, pleasing Vaishnava has to be done in a very cautious and careful way when we are under services. Another 1 minute, another 2 minutes we have. Anybody? Go ahead. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki.